Hey, good morning. This is Doug Field along with my co-host Ron Bachman, and welcome back to this segment of Healthcare Consumers and Radio. We're excited about our next guest who represents ConnectYourCare, one of the leading consumer-directed healthcare administrative platforms in the market. And joining us from ConnectYourCare is Reese Feuerman, the CFO. Reese, good morning.
Hi, good morning, Doug.
Hey, good to have you on here, and look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks as well.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Tell our audience a little bit more about ConnectYourCare and your business model and your solution.
Sure. Well, ConnectYourCare, as you mentioned, we are the nation's number one independent HSA administrator in the U.S. And for our business model, we actually sell across a continuum of platforms and to a variety of different buyers. So we provide both a technology solution, so more a SaaS solution, all the way to a full BPO solution where we are handling claims, calls, et cetera, for our clients. So we're a little unique in that respect with respect to the range of services that we offer. And we're also unique in that we sell to where the buying is occurring. So we'll sell directly to an employer. We'll sell to a distributor. We'll sell to a health plan. We'll sell to a financial institution. So these are entities that are selling the product most under a white labeled solution to the market, and so we have a very broad and diverse set of clients within our portfolio. So as a company, we actually have over 20,000 employers that we provide service to, and millions of account holders and participants through those relationships. So we are focused exclusively on health savings accounts. So that would include HSAs, flexible spending accounts, health reimbursement accounts, dependent care accounts. So at our core, we are an account administrator focused in the healthcare sector.
Well, with what has happened with the changing FSA legislation and what is happening with HSAs, you appear to be pretty well positioned for growing over the next couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, this is an incredible time in our nation's history as it relates to healthcare. Certainly the Affordable Care Act has sensitized the citizens of our country to better understand healthcare reform, how it impacts them, and so companies are taking the opportunity to move away from a more paternalistic view on the provision of healthcare services, moving from a traditional healthcare model to a consumer-directed healthcare model where it's more a partnership between the employer and the employee. And so, as you mentioned, rule changes are continuing to occur, most recently with the rollover in the flexible spending account. So, that's made, that account type very attractive for people, as the HSA has as well. And the HSA is a terrific savings vehicle for individuals as they both address their current period expense as well as their future medical expenses on a longer-term basis.
Reese, what do you see? A lot is written about it, including written from us and associates around us. What do you see the impact of private exchanges and defined contribution being on HSAs?
Yeah, well, I think it's interesting, and I'll answer part of the question just to talk very briefly regarding the public exchanges. So, as we're all aware, the public exchanges have signed up almost 8 million individuals on those exchanges, and if you compare a high-deductible health plan deductible limit under what's defined by the IRS, those deductible limits start at $1,250 to $2,500 for individual and family, respectively. So under the bronze plan, though, interestingly, the deductible is $5,000. So I think the whole notion of high deductible health plan in the context of what those who are familiar with HSAs is very different than what's being offered on the public exchanges at this point. I think over time, we are a product that is sold either through the public exchange or through the private exchange market. And as companies are making the decision around, do I keep traditional health care? Do I go to a full replacement? That is, do I transition my employee base completely away from traditional health care to a high-deductible health plan? Or do I go ahead and just move them over to an exchange and let them make all those decisions, and then I fix my cost? I think those are the key decisions that are being made. I think for most of the larger corporations, the decision around full replacement versus moving their employees to the private exchange is an important one. I think at the end of the day, though, a more consumer-driven health plan type will become the most prevalent in the market, whether or not you're purchasing it from an exchange or directly from an insurance provider.
Reese, Ron Bachman here. I think our audience has got a very unique opportunity with this segment in your presentation to hear from somebody kind of behind the scenes, somebody who white labels products for others, works through insurance companies, employers, and all the different stakeholders that you talked about that you're servicing. Give our audience the perspective from those various views that you have and the different types of clients. The real growth that's going on in HSAs. Some people who are sort of against that approach would say, the numbers are inflated, it's not doing all that well, and others, in favor of these are saying this stuff is taking off like gangbusters. Your earlier comments kind of indicated that the current laws and legislation are helping to move it forward, not inhibiting it. So can you give us that background from where you sit on how all this is really developing?
Sure. That's a great question. So if you step back and just look at the percentage of individuals covered by an HSA relative to the insured population, there's roughly a 7% penetration rate. So that's looking at the beginning of last year, so that has improved. And, the statistics, the HSAs are growing at a rate of 20% plus per year, so very high growth rates are occurring. And, what we are seeing is employers taking the opportunity to more clearly evaluate the benefits of a high-deductible health plan with an HSA as far as mitigating the impact from the medical inflation rate. So historically, we've seen double digits around medical inflation. That has contracted a bit, so we're in the mid to upper single digits with respect to the medical inflation rate. So, companies are really looking to find ways to mitigate that outpacing inflation rate, and at the same time create a partnership with their employees to share the benefits and the risk associated with high-deductible health plans. And, what we're seeing is, with the health plans, they are very active in the private exchange market. So, they're trying to hedge where the buying is occurring, either directly from them or through an exchange. So the advantage with ConnectYourCare, they're able to white label our product with their own look and feel to our portal. The financial institutions, they're predominantly in this business as a vehicle for deposit acquisition. So to the extent a bank needs assets, the HSAs are a great way for them to increase the level of assets on their balance sheets. And then just for the general consumer, this is the word exchange and healthcare. Is just so prevalent in everything we read each day that it really is a time for all of us to be empowered to control how we receive and pay for our health care in the U.S.
So are most of your clients self-insured plans, or you deal with both self-insured and fully insured plans?
We'll deal with both. I mean, many are self-insured plans, but we certainly would deal with both.
So what's your take on, as I understand it, the new regulations kind of came out and lifted what used to be a $2,000 deductible limit on small employers, where a large part of the uninsureds are that we want to get affordable products to. Have you looked at that and what you think the impact might be, since, with a minimum $1,250 deductible that you talked about to be qualified for setting up HSAs, there wasn't much room between there and the $2,000. It almost seemed like the ACA was encouraging the payment of claims by premiums as opposed to through savings. What's your take on that change if you've been keeping up with it?
Well, we've certainly just on the issue or on the whole regulatory and legislative front, ConnectYourCare is very active in that arena. So we do participate in industry groups. We participate in discussions on the Hill, and we are all focused on promoting and educating our legislators on the benefits of high deductible health plans. We're certainly advocates for the FSA rollover that was just approved, and with respect to the deductibility limit that you mentioned, I would suspect that again over time, as companies become more familiar with high deductible health plans, that the HSA will be the health plan design of choice. And I think what we're seeing is down the road is the potential combination of viewing HSAs, 401ks, 529, so all the tax-advantaged accounts. So how our technology can extend to all of those tax-advantaged accounts, will be very unique. As a company, we started as a technology company, so, our platform is extremely flexible in terms of what types of services that we're able to provide, and even around Medicaid, looking at medical Medicaid and just other forms of medical retirement health plans specific to an HSA. We're certainly advocates of that and working towards helping to promote that.
Reese, we've got about a minute plus to go here, and I want to give you an opportunity to kind of wrap up some takeaways for our audience and then tell them how they can get in touch with you.
Sure, that's great. Thank you. So, for as I mentioned, we are seeing enormous tailwinds in the consumer-directed healthcare space. We believe that companies will be making, two decisions, one full replacement and the other private exchange. That will be the decision that will be at hand. We believe that the HSAs, are clearly a great vehicle for retirement, much like the 401k. And, for ConnectYourCare, one of our unique capabilities is our technology, and we offer what's referred to as the HSA on demand, which is an industry-unique technology that allows companies to help fund deductibles for employees as they transition from a traditional health plan to full replacement. So we're very excited about the space that we're in. We believe the growth will continue, and that every American is should be able to receive affordable health care.
Well, Reese, listen, we sincerely appreciate you having on the program and you spending time with us today. And to our audience out there, you can join Reese and the rest of the ConnectYourCare team at IHC Forum on May 7th, 9th, where Reese will participate in one of our general session exchange panels, as well as ConnectYourCare is the foundation sponsor for IHC Forum and Expo. Again, Reese, thank you so much. And to our audience, stay tuned for the final segment of Healthcare Consumers Radio.